The Bishop Ward Cyclones have twisted into Sumner Academy territory tonight for a key matchup in the Huron League. Both teams are 2-2 in conference play. We'll have it next on the high school Game of the Week. American Cablevision presents the high school Game of the Week. And we are wet here in Wyandotte County at Wyandotte High School, Roy Edwards Stadium. Tonight's game, Bishop Ward against Sumner Academy. And hi again, everybody. Neil Harwell with you on the high school Game of the Week. Tonight, a good one in the Huron League. It's Bishop Ward at 3-2, coming in here against Sumner at 2-3, and they're both at 500 in the Huron League. And I'm joined once again by Duron Cherry with the umbrella. Let's talk about these two teams tonight and the key players.
Well, Neil, both of these teams are very strong offensively, especially at the quarterback position. We have two fine quarterbacks on display this evening. One is Damon Gardner for Ward, outstanding runner, little short in size, but he makes up with a lot of heart, doesn't have a very strong arm. On the opposite side of the ball for Sumner, boy, do we have an outstanding guy, John Leapart. Outstanding speed, Neil. He anchored the 4x100 relay for this team. He's a guy they rely on in the crutch. He's a guy who's going to have the ball in his hands. They like to run that veer option, and hopefully tonight they'll be able to successfully win this football game.
Yeah, plenty of speed at the quarterback position. Theodis Brown, it seems like we've done this a couple of weeks here with the torrential downpours. It's held off for now. How are the conditions out there?
Well, it's wet. The track will be kind of slow tonight, but you know these teams are similar in a lot of ways because they both like to run the football. You got two talented quarterbacks, as Duron mentioned, but whoever keeps the ball, sustain the ball, and keep the drive going, this should be a good football team, good football game.
All right, try to stay dry. We'll head up to the booth. We'll have the kickoff in this one next. It's Bishop Ward and Sumner Academy. And welcome back to Roy Edwards Stadium here at Wyandotte High School, the home of Sumner Academy. And tonight, a Huron League matchup between the Sabres of Sumner Academy, the host team tonight, and Bishop Ward. The Cyclones coming in here with a record of 3-2 overall, and the Sabres are 2-3 overall, and both teams 2-2 in the Huron League. Well, Duron, looks like the rain has held off. We got a little bit damp before the game. It's held off, and here we go.
Looking for an exciting contest here tonight. These are two young football teams, but they're on different paths, and Sumner's trying to get their record evened up here, whereas Bishop Ward's trying to increase on that 3-2 record that they have.
That is Anthony Gonzalez. You just saw awaiting the kick from Brian Schuker. Gonzalez is an excellent kick returner. This one is short, however, bounding out of bounds, and it looks like they'll get it at the 35-yard line. Sumner Academy will. They'll start it in good field position for their first possession of the game. And let's look at the starting lineups. First on the offensive side for Sumner Academy, John Leapart. We talked about him. He's got great speed. He leads this team in rushing this season and is an excellent play caller. And they'll work it out of the veer option. And you see the backfield there, Garvey Thomas. And then the line, the average is about 230 pounds. That's some better size than Sumner has had in the past few seasons. So they like what they have up front, and they have three very experienced players returning. So Leapart, first and 10 for Sumner Academy. Three backs in the backfield, and plenty of running room up front of the carry, and that is Andy Walden on the carry. And let's take a look at the starting defense now for Bishop Ward. They'll go with the five-man front. Kurtz, Hampton, Garcia, Anthony Mervnuditz. Almost pulled that off. And then Mangani across the front. We'll call him Anthony for the rest of the night. And then here's your secondary, Denabaski, Brown, Basca, Brown, and Horton. Second down and short after that first carry by Walden. Second man through. He's close to the first down on the carry. That is Eugene Thomas. And he gets the carry, picks up the first down, I believe. Shane Manning, the leading tackler for Bishop Ward, was in there to make the hit.
I tell you, Manning does a fine job, even though they needed short yardage to pick up this first down. Manning comes up there from his linebacker position and just stuffs the play right there. Good form tackle. You see he gets up underneath his leg, rises on the hit, and drives his man back. Excellent tackling.
So that brings up the 1st and 10 now for Sumner on this opening possession of the game. And this is Leapart keeping it, Sacked in the backfield. Mangini got there first, and some help from his friends back there as well, Kenny Denny and also Bob Rome. That's a loss of about 5 on the play.
Good outside pressure up the field. They're trying to just run the veer option, a one-man veer. The halfback goes the opposite way. He's not fooled. Mangini right there just drags him down. Fine defensive play on the outside by Mangini.
So that brings up a 2nd down 15 on the loss of 5 for Sumner. Just underway here from Wyandotte High School, the home of Sumner Academy in the Huron League. Both teams 2-2 in this one coming in here. Misdirection, 2nd man through. Nice yardage, about 5-6 yards on the play. Brian Garvey on the carry. Paul Baska and Mike Mangini in there for the stop.
Sumner doing a good job. They are 3rd, 2nd, and extremely long, not trying to go for the whole bundle at one time. They're able to pick up about 9-10 yards, bring it down to a 3rd and 10. So they got half their yardage back on that play. Now they're in a position where they're 3rd and 10. And you would think they'd have to pass the football, but this is a running football team.
Richard Gleischman in his 14th season looking on. His team has it 3rd and 10 right now in their opening possession tonight. Leapart on the rollout. The keeper dragged down from behind by Bob Rome again. And then some punishment delivered by Paul Baska as he came in. So Sumner Academy will have to kick it away. And let's look again.
Yeah, they're going to have to kick it away. You can see they're just unbalanced line. They tried to offset, get the line of scrimmage, and run a power eye with those backs coming up to block, but you can see Rome that time scraping from his linebacker position inside, making a heck of a play.
Kenny Denny and Paul Baska back deep. And the kick is away by Christopher Rogers. Taken in there by Baska. He hits a knee, and that's where he'll be down. And let's take a look at the Ward offense. It is led by their quarterback, Damon Gardner, who comes in here with some experience. The tight end Mangini is a good one. He's the leading receiver with 9 catches. And then across the front, they're not quite as big as Sumner Academy, but they're pretty quick up front. Frank Garcia in particular, very quick off the football. And leading the way, Damon Gardner, the quarterback, 335 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. And on the first carry, only about a yard for the Cyclones. And on the carry, that is Larry Brown, the captain, getting the first call. Let's look at the Sumner defense. Garvey, Lucas, Randolph, Howard, and Vasquez across the front. And that's just the look you want out of your defensive folks, huh? Look at Walden with those eyes. Satulovic, Leapart, Thomas, Gonzalez, all of them back there in the secondary. That brings up a 2nd down, 8 after 2-yard run by Brown. Again, it's Brown, and he is cremated. Coming up tough is Kevin Satulovic. They call him Thule. And he delivered the news that time. Or actually, I should say, that is Burns that came up and delivered the hit. Bill Burns. Also in there is Kasner. Ward again with it now. 3rd down, 9. Gardner to throw, and they've got him in the backfield. He gets forward almost to the line of scrimmage. And on the tackle, that is Daryl Lucas.
I'll tell you, give Leapart that time and Brian Garvey credit for the great pass defense. Garvey, who's a linebacker, drops back and takes away the quick slant, but Leapart was on man-to-man defense and covered him extremely well. That's what you call a coverage sack, Neil. The secondary did a fine job, and the linebackers also allowing the defensive lineman to get pressure on Damon Gardner and sack him.
Kenny Denny with the forearm pads, ready to kick it away. Back deep is Gonzalez. We talked about it. Gonzalez, an excellent return man. There's a whistle on the play.
Just as I was talking about Brian Garvey making an outstanding play here, he jumped.
Ball, offsides on the defense. Still 4.
He jumps into the neutral zone, and you can see him from the, there you go, right on the top of the screen, to the right of the screen, and he just jumps in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty.
So Denny will try it again, and again it's Anthony Gonzalez back. He has returned to punt, 54 yards for a touchdown already this season. And he gets it away nicely. Gonzalez lets it bounce, and then he leaves it alone. And it'll be downed at the 30-yard line, 29-yard line. Mike Mangini got down there to down it, as Denny gets a 29-yard kick away.
5 yards in front.
You like for that return guy, Neil, to come up and try to field that punt, but with the conditions, the rain that we have, the field is kind of softened, so when the ball hits, it's not really going to bounce and go anywhere. It's kind of stands, so that was a good decision that time by Gonzalez to let that punt drop.
Out of the three-back set, and a whistle on the play. Motion against Sumner. Well, you know, Duran, Richard Gleichman in his 14th season here for Sumner, he's got some good size up front.
We have a dead ball.
He has some good size up front that he returns. They average about 230. Satulovic goes 240. Roy Sanderson, who's all league, up front at 250. So they got some pretty good folks up front, especially for a guy that likes to run the football.
And you got to have those big people up front.
Second man through on a carry. Brian Garvey ahead for a couple on the play. Tackled there by Dennis Kurtz, among others.
Yeah, let's take a look at this offensive line. You talked about the size and how big they are. Watch how they're low and they fire right off the ball. You see them? They got their man, they're blocking man on man, and you can see the ball carrier finding an easy hole to find his way through. And that's just a fine job of blocking by those big guys up front.
If he tells you to move, you got to get out of his way because he takes priority, all right?
Turn and the give. This is Walden with some room, and he is all the way out to the 45-yard line on the play. Larry Brown makes the tackle. Makes the tackle. He's the second leading tackler for Bishop Ward this season, as Andy Walden, one of the captains on this team, with some good room.
Watch the offensive line again, Neil. Look how low they fire out. Every man's got a hat on. You see the fullback coming through right there, Garvey, leading in on the block, and there's Mangini grabbing them by the jersey. Walden right there picks up 10 yards and picks up the first down. There's a good hit there, but the offensive line, Neil, they're taking control. They set the tempo. They're firing out. Each man blocking head on the defender and open up a hole and allowing the running back open space to have vision to see where the hole is going to be.
Well, and Andy Walden has 262 yards rushing this season, had 100 yards last week against Ottawa in a good performance for the Sabres. So he's got it on track here this evening. 1st and 10, Sumner. Again, it's Walden, but not this time. In there is Kurtz and also Bob Rome for the Cyclones.
Some of their strategy is to try to keep this Ward defense off balance, Neil. They're going with the straight power eye formation, lined up in a wishbone and running the double dive. Then they're also coming out with an unbalanced formation. And later on, hopefully we can get that and let you see where they shift the line, they go unbalanced, and then they try to run you by lining up those, getting the defense to shift their defense into the unbalanced, and then try to hit you with a big play to the backside of it.
And they're going back to the backside, and with the football, Eugene Thomas. Not a whole lot there, but he made something out of it by driving the legs, which you teach any good back to do, Duran.
Yes, you do, and that's that unbalanced line we talked about, Neil. You can see the shift on by Bishop Ward, and then what they did was pitch the ball, and watch the quarterback, Leapart. He is the guy that actually throws a key block right there on number 9 so that he could cut up, the running back could cut up inside, and you can see that's just determination because he gets stopped, but he drives them for about 6 yards.
3rd down and 1 upcoming. Leapart leads his team to the line right at about the 49-yard line. Second man through. Thomas has the first down into Bishop Ward territory on the carry as the Cyclones wrap him up, but not until he's picked up the first down with 3:05 to play first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Sumner offensive line is just dominating. We have this window open here tonight, Neil, and you can hear the cracking that's going on down there in the trenches. Those guys are getting after it. They're very physical up front, and they're making things happen right now for this offensive team.
59, Sanderson. 67, Darrell Lucas. He's an all-league selection. They're getting it done up front right now. Second man through on a carry. That is Brian Garvey hurtling over the top Maybe got a yard or two on a play. Shane Manning in there for the hit for Bishop Ward.
You can see him firing out, Neil, to see each man's got him blocked. That time they do a good job of stacking it up. And you can see, I believe that's number 75, coming in and putting his helmet in there and creating a pile in the middle.
I think it was Frank Garcia that got underneath the pile and forced that play to go nowhere. Here's Leapart, keeper, got some room on the right side with the stiff arm, gets another couple, picks up the first down. Finally, Larry Brown. He took the punishment on the stiff arm, but stayed with it and brought him down. Here it comes right at you.
So there's a good presence of mind of Leapart as a runner. You can see him fake the option, the unbalanced line. Look how he waits for his blocker, and then he cuts it upfield, gets another good block, and reads that block and cuts outside. So Garvey makes 2 key blocks on that play to spring Leapart to the outside, but give Leapart credit as a runner. He was very patient, and he waited for those blocks to present themselves, and then he fouled right off of those blocks and made a big run.
Garvey led the way. The gain was 14 for Leapart. 1st and 10, Sumner. Second man through. This is Eugene Thomas with speed. They'll never get him. Thomas, touchdown, Sumner Academy. 32 yards for Eugene Thomas.
Thomas, outstanding play, Neil. I tell you, that's just determination. Here's a guy that's running through the hole. He should be stopped. He should be tackled, but he never stops his feet, and he's not going to let one man bring him down. That was just a great run by him.
He showed us the leg drive earlier, Duran. He's got some power downstairs, and he got loose in the secondary, showed us some wheels, and Sumner will go for 2. Out of the 3-back power eye set this time. Thomas the feature. He gets the football, but doesn't get the extra points. So 6-0 Sabres after the run by Thomas of 32. Frank Garcia turned him back as they went for 2 on that one.
Let's take a look at this play, Neil. From the end zone camera, just a straight double dive handoff. Look at the block right there. You see his never stops. He should have been down. There's an arm tackle there, and he just splits the defense and takes it the distance for the touchdown. We see another look. Good blocking up front. You see the lead block right there, but he never stops. He doesn't give up on the play. Good downfield blocking by the backside tackle. That's when you get the big plays, when you get good downfield blocking, and they were able to do it. Here's a 2-point conversion here. Same identical play, but he gets stopped there. You can see the defense coming in and knocking them back.
Well, I'll tell you, Shane Manning stood in there tough to turn back that 2-point conversion along with others. Jimmy Lopez to kick it off now for Sumner, as that was a very nicely sustained drive. And back deep, you've got Paul Baska, number 15. Also back there is Kenny Denny wearing number 9. It's a short kick, and Baska hops on it as he goes out of bounds. Well, he just lets that one go out of bounds, and it's
a penalty
at the 35, but he caught it, then rolled out.
Not a good decision there, special teams-wise. You should let that ball get over there in position to protect it in case it doesn't go out of bounds, but let it go out of bounds. You know, they've given up right here, I'd say about almost 15, 18 yards worth of field position.
And with a wet field like we have tonight, although it has stopped raining, field position very important. Sumner loves to run the football. They're doing it tonight. They've rushed for about 1,100 yards this season. And Eugene Thomas with the 32-yarder, that's why they lead right now 6-0. And this dive play going nowhere. That is Roberts on the carry, and he is met head-on by Jerome Randolph, the nose tackle.
Randolph did a fine job, Neil, scraping over to the play and shutting down that hole. Bishop Ward has got to be able to put a series together, Neil, get some first downs, string some first downs, and get some momentum going.
On the 2nd down, 2nd and 9, back to pass Gardner. Looking over the middle, the whirlybird is caught, picked off by Leapart. And he slips out of bounds, but great field position for the Sabres at the 15.
The time Damon Gardner was pressured, and he's not a tall quarterback, so it's hard for him to sit in the pocket and just be able to throw the ball. You can see the pressure coming right there. He gets hit, the ball goes flying because he's got to throw the ball over the line of scrimmage, and there's Leapart coming up with the big interception. And that's where height is a disadvantage at the quarterback position, because if you got big offensive linemen, you can't see over top of them. You got to throw the ball high, and that time that pass got away from him.
Ball at the 15. Sabres try to cash it in now after that nice pickoff by Leapart. Here's the strong running of Garvey following that big line. And he's ahead for about, 7 or 8 yards on that play.
That's just total domination by the offensive line. The power eye formation is working well for Sumner. They're just double diving, power eye, and everybody man on man. And look how he just keeps his legs moving. That's just determination. It's just a matter of getting in the trenches. Who wants it bad enough? Us or them? And right now, Sumner is taking control.
Time winding in the first half. 3-back set with a T formation at the 7-yard line. 2nd down and 2. Garvey again diving close to the first down. I believe he has it. Well, it looks a little bit like what Marv Levy used to run when you guys were in the early 80s there.
And I'll tell you who still runs that T formation.
Where's Ted McKnight?
Is Notre Dame when they get down to the goal line. Neil, that T formation is very effective because it doesn't give the defense an opportunity to slant to the strength of the formation. They have to play balanced up football defense, so it gives the offense an advantage. They can dictate actually what's going to happen up front on the defensive line.
And with that big tough line, the straight on blocking, they're beating their men head on as time is winding in the first quarter, and will switch sides. Sumner Academy leading it 6-0 as we head for quarter number 2. The beginning of quarter number 2, Sumner by 6. They're threatening again. Pitch back, Garvey. The leather is popping. I should say the plastic is popping. Down there low to get him. Rome and also Manning, and Mangeni was in there as well. Time of possession being owned by the Sabres.
That's an outstanding job offensively. When you have that much of an advantage in time of possession, and look at the play, 17-5, you are dominating the football game offensively.
Sumner has not even thought about a pass yet. Inside the 5. Inside handoff, Walden. Maybe a yard on the play.
I wouldn't be thinking about the pass either if I'm running the ball and controlling the line of scrimmage the way this Sumner team is controlling it. And I tell you, Bishop Ward has to do something defensively. Here they're doing a fine job so far stacking up the inside running plays down at the goal line. They can't afford for this Sumner team to score. They've got to hold them to a field goal.
Shane Manning and company digging in. They've held pretty well on the last 2 downs. This is 3rd down and goal. Leapart with the keeper, splits the defense, touchdown Sabres. A 2-yarder. The Sabres excited about that one, and Leapart into the end zone. And that is his 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
If you want to see a great athlete perform, you got to look at Leapart on this play. Neil, this was just outstanding. We'll see it after the 2-point conversion, but I tell you, what a heck of a play.
Trying again for the 2-point conversion. This time they have trips to the right. They center it back to Garvey, the lone setback, and he can't get it in there. So once again, the 2-point try is nullified, and it's 12-0. Sumner on top by 12. Let's look again at the touchdown.
Let's look at this play, Neil, because this is just a fabulous work of ball handling here. You can see Leapart take the ball out here, and look at the block that Garvey put on, and there's the fake right there, and he just does a good job of getting to the outside. But I tell you, being able to take that ball out of the fullback's hands at a good time, that enabled him to score. And you can see here is try to do a little trickery here as the quarterback was trying to yell at his receivers on the outside, walking away like there was a problem. Then they try to quick snap him and try to get the 2-point conversion, but it was unsuccessful.
The old single wing center back to the back. And it's Baska and Denny that will be back deep as the big play in that one, the interception by Leapart. He also cashed it in on the 2-yard run. Ball bounding down, taken in by Denny, and he is swarmed upon by a couple of guys, Travis Marshall and Norvin Daniels. Let's go down to Theotis Brown. Theotis.
Well, thank you very much, guys. You know, we talked about how slick the track was today. We have somebody with us, the president of the Sumner High School Academy Booster Club, Bob Moore. And you guys talked about the weather being different this morning. You guys got soaked. You got something special, especially tonight with the homecoming.
We tried every night to come up with a concession stand, and tonight we're a little more protected through cooperation of one of our vendors, and we raised money to really bring back into the school for any part of the school that wants it.
Well, Bob, what kinds of things that you folks are working on, not only tonight, but other things? What's going on tonight?
Tonight, the money that has been raised will give scholarships. Tonight, we're giving a homecoming gift to every Sumner student and Sumner fan. We will support the homecoming dance and lots of other ongoing things annually that we support.
Well, that's great. You didn't have a hard time in finding parking tonight, did you?
No, because I was here at 4:30.
Oh, unlike Duran and some of the other guys.
When they show up at 7:30, they're lucky on a night like tonight to get within about 4 blocks.
Well, see, guys, that's what happened. You get that free parking. Guys, back up to you.
Hey, Theotis, I don't know about you, but I'm out there in the hayfield somewhere where I had to park. Duran just kind of wheels up, flashes the smile. He goes wherever he wants. I don't know about that deal.
I just asked, that's all. There was parking spaces open, and I asked, and they said, sure.
Yeah, you can do about anything in this city, as far as I've been able to tell. Penalties so far in this one. Time winding down in the first half, 9:40 to go. Bishop Ward with a football, 2nd and 17 after the penalty. And once again, movement on the front. The Sabres jumping. Let's see if they were drawn.
They were jumping now. As Garvey, once again, he's got to watch the football. They can't go on the quarterback's signals because he'll give that voice inflection and draw them off sides.
Dennis Dorr in his 9th season for Bishop Ward. Spent 3 years at Pius, 6 years at Hogan. He played his college football at Benedictine. On the carry, Brown taken down. Couple of Sabres up front doing the damage. Vasquez and also Lucas was in there on the tackle.
I tell you, Sumner, not only they're dominating up front offensively, but their defense, which consists of some of the same players on offense, Neil, on the offensive line, are doing a fine job of getting penetration on the other side of the field, on Ward's side, and preventing them from having open space to run.
Out of the shotgun, flanked by 2 backs. This is Gardner letting it fly, and it's caught across midfield, taken in by Kenny Denny.
Tell you, great pass that time by Gardner. He threw the ball exactly where he had to throw it. He underthrew it a little bit to the outside. Leapart, who's playing man-to-man defense, looks like he's in excellent position. There's a late hit right there that wasn't called. That ball was out of his hands, but he throws the ball to the outside, the only place where the receiver could catch it. And you can see right there, Leapart overrunning the play. He should have made that play.
In Sumner Academy territory, this is Brown on the carry, taken down by Michael Vasquez, the defensive end. But Bishop Ward with something going here as they pick it up on 3rd and 10 on that pass play to Denny. And now they're in Sumner Academy territory. Ball is marked at the 44-yard line for Dennis Dorr's club.
Maybe that big play throw on the football might loosen up the defense a little bit, Neil, because they haven't been getting much up until this point. They've got to establish the line of scrimmage.
Out of the pro eye, Brown cuts it back. Not much there this time. Ahead for a yard or 2 on a play. Taking him down to about the 42. He's tackled there by Darryl Lucas and also Eugene Thomas up from his cornerback position.
This is a big 3rd down play here.
Duran, what is that spackled together with there? That looks like somebody got the paper mache going there on the side of his earpiece. Whatever gets it going for you. Coach Gleichman has it going tonight. Paul Brown on the sweep. Tried to stiff arm, but they stayed right with him. Anthony Gonzalez dragged him down right in front of his coach.
Fine defensive effort on the outside. You've got to try to string the play out, at least make them cut it back in, but that time they were very fortunate not to get hooked. You can see 75 Gonzalez coming on the outside, and there is number 22 Gonzalez making the stop.
Woo! They got some guys trying to stay on the ice skates there.
Michael and Anthony Gonzalez.
Anthony
double
is
teaming.
Yeah, and he's back deep to take in the punt, which will be delivered by Kenny Denny. Gonzalez goes to a knee, and it's marked at the 18-yard line, and the Sabres will have it again on offense. That looks like an old playbook there, doesn't it? Coach Gleichman maybe had that thing a while.
Ancient playbook.
He's beautiful, isn't he?
We get up close on the high school game of the week, I tell you.
Man, can you remember that game a couple of years ago? Yeah. It was so cold out here, and we were talking to Coach Gleichman. He was ready to get that thing underway. He'd had enough of standing in the cold that night. But he's one of the great ones around the league. 14 seasons he's been here at Sumner Academy. Leapart following blocking and goes down. Couldn't keep the footing. Causing him to go down is Shane Manning back there in the backfield.
Shane Manning, excellent job that time, Neil, coming through and making the play. Bishop Ward has got to have more plays like that, Neil, for negative yards. In the first half, it's been more positive yardage gained by Sumner. Ward's got to be able to get those negative plays. That's what's going to help them defensively. Force them into second and long, third and long situations where now the defense has the advantage.
Second down, 13 for Sumner. 5.5 to play first half. This is Walden. Gets through there a ways before Kenny Denny takes him down. So tonight, we have Kenny Denny playing in the game sponsored by Piggly Wiggly. Only on the high school game of the week. And Sumner right now with a 3rd down 8.
Watch the inner line play, Neil. You can see him firing off the ball. There's every man is on a man, and you can see Denny right there picking up some big yards. That's John Walden picking up some yards, but Ward's got them where they need to in a 3rd and long situation.
On the 3rd and 8, Leapart pitches it back. Garvey finds the handle and then is clobbered on the cleanup job by Larry Brown. Shane Manning helped to drive him down before the punishment delivered by Larry Brown.
There's an option to the left. Quarterback coming down. Good fake right there. You see him draw, and the quarterback gets hit, but you got to take the quarterback out. Bad piece of tackling there, but you can see him cleaning up. There's Manning coming from behind.
That has American Cablevision top 10 hit potential right there. I don't know. We've had a few better ones than that.
We've had a lot better ones than that.
Okay. I won't get carried away. They are short by about a yard, at least a yard. In fact, that is almost the largest margin on a measurement I've ever seen. What was that, about 2 yards? The guy was in the middle of the chain.
Well, they just wanted to see how much of a difference it is. Sometimes you can't see when it's over there on the sideline.
So they're kicking it away. And back deep for Bishop Ward will be Paul Baska. And once again to kick it, the punter, Christopher Rogers, who's also the tight end, with 3 personal protectors. Was that a soccer-style punt taken, falling down at about the 45? As it bit nicely like a Duran Cherry sand wedge.
Stopped and came back.
Let's check that foot for square grooves here. That thing backed up a little bit too nicely out of the rough for Christopher Rogers.
Oh, yeah. See, he's kicking it from a soccer type of style, and that's hard to punt the ball when you kick it and try to kick it across your body. But he got some distance on it.
Yes, he did. The pitch back to Brown, who's out to midfield on the carry, about 5 yards on the play. He's taken down there by Vasquez and Randolph.
It's not the kind of technique you'd see from a real punter, but, I mean, he can get away with it.
Which, I'll set you up for it, you were. High school,
but I
college?
never got a chance. Yeah, high school and college. Never in the pros.
You still hold like all the Rutgers records for punting?
I'm close.
You were back there this week.
Top 1 or 2.
Don't tell me you weren't checking the leaderboard to make sure your name was still there.
Well, I know
when you were back
somewhere.
when you were back this week. Gardner taken down by a couple of Sabres in the backfield. That was Walden, and also Vasquez was back there to clean him up. NFL on TNT, couple of games this week. On Sunday, you've got Washington and Philadelphia, and the Eagles are playing very well right now, as you talked about on Bump and Run the other night.
Very well.
And then on Thursday, you've got the Browns and the Oilers, who are smelling up the joint right now.
Well, you got two teams going in different directions. The Browns are actually look like one of the top teams to beat in the AFC this year.
Gardner looking, plenty of time over the middle. His receiver bites the dust. They were tangled up back there, the coverage. The receiver out there was Mike Mangini running from his tight end position, and he got the feet tangled up and went down.
Yeah, there was incidental contact down the middle of the field. Shotgun formation, Gardner dropping back. He looks to the right and then throws down the middle to his big play receiver, the tight end, and just gets tripped up.
Eugene Thomas, I believe, is the guy he got caught up with, and now they'll kick it away. Kenny Denny with the forearm pads and the line shot. Bounding, biting at the 21 and backing it up. 12-0, Sabres on top, 2:35 to go first half. Boy, Kenny Denny with the old-time pads, you gotta like that. Those have been handed down through the ages, making the high school game of the week tonight. Well, again, it's Bump and Run on American Cablevision Channel 30 every Friday at 7:30, Saturday 5:30 p.m., and then Sunday at 11 o'clock. And you can come out, be a part of the live audience at Bannister Mall every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And this week we'll be taking a look at the San Diego game. And then a look ahead as the Chiefs are in a very key part of their schedule right now. And Thomas is in a very key part of the game tonight, just hammering folks. Larry Brown was in there, Paul Baska in there, but not before he picked up some nice yardage.
Well, Thomas gets better as the game goes on. You can see him breaking tackles right here. He gets hit by his legs, but look, he's still driving, still fighting for more yards. He's just running over people. He's a big, keeps his legs moving, legs driving, getting forward, and there's a fight for the ball, but he's able to get it. But he's a guy you got to work. He's a workhorse of this running game.
9 yards on first down. You like that every time if you're Sumner with the football right now. 2nd and 1. And I don't know that he got it. Bishop Ward standing tough at the line of scrimmage. 51 was Gary Hampton, 50 Shane Manning, and Leapart wants timeout with 1:25 to go in a half. Frank Garcia was also in there. The trio brought him down.
I tell you, good defense up front there, getting penetration there and stopping them short. Actually, they probably lost about a half of a yard. And that's what you have to do defensively when you get into second and short situations. But you know, if you're a Sumner, you're not panicking because you're not in a 3rd and long, you're in a 3rd and short. So you can basically work with your offense, do whatever you want to do. You can stick with your regular game plan rather than have to go do something you're not comfortable doing.
So exactly where did your car end up tonight, Duran, when you came in here? I know my car is probably not even visible. I'm in there somewhere by the yellow bus system over there in the back. That's where I had to park. Theotis is even further away, I believe. And, of course, in the nice, plush, comfortable spot. What is that thing, lit? I mean, it's glowing like a halo. There's the Duran Cherry ride. Man, it must be nice.
It is nice. The people here love me. They really care about me. And, you know, I'm like at home. I tell you, it's just like me pulling up in my own driveway.
You're like Moses when the sea parts. What are you talking about? You're able to go anywhere in this city. I've been with you a few times. They just start moving orange cones when you bring the ride in. Here, Mr. Cherry, here. Dennis Kurtz on the stop that time. Theotis will chime in here a little bit. You know that got under his skin. They made him leave.
I know. He shouldn't have got here early.
That's the problem, I guess. A minute 10 remaining first half. Leapart on the run for his life. finally driven out of bounds with 1:05 to go first half.
The only good thing about that play is that the clock got stopped, and that's a benefit of Sumner. Because they're trying to run a play. He gets good pressure coming up the middle right there. He gets flushed out of the pocket. Probably one of the most difficult things for any quarterback who's right-handed is to run to your left, try to stop, plant, and throw the football back down the field when you got pressure on you. It's hard to do. It's difficult. It's almost impossible.
Especially when you're worried about the footing. If you try to plant while you're running like that and throw back, not too many times on a field like this are you going to be able to pull that off. Second down, 13 for the Sabres. They lead it by a dozen, 12-0. Trying to get something done with only a minute left in the first half. And a flag on the play must have taken too much time.
Flag on the play before the play starts.
So that will back the Sabres up.
The dead ball, delay game on the offense. Still second down.
Still second down, but 2nd and 18. And he's fishing around in the plastic, going to the 2-minute drill, Coach Gleischman.
Well, I think it's more important here that his football team just concentrate on holding on to the football, Neil. They've given up some good field position. They can't afford a turnover. They're up 12-0. It's not bad going in with a 12-0 lead at halftime. You just have to protect your lead right now and not do anything stupid and create a turnover for yourself.
Second man through is Garvey. And the junior bangs ahead for about 3 or 4 yards on the play. That'll bring up a third down with the clock rolling inside of a minute, first half. Anthony was in on the play. I'm going to try it again. Mervunitz. Mervunitz. That's what I'm going with. That's my call. Anthony Mervunitz. Something like that was in there on the stop.
Well, if you're not right, his parents will be writing in and telling you about it.
I'm trying, bud.
Well, the smart thing here is just to run another dive play and let the clock run out. Take your 12-0 lead into the locker room at halftime.
And another delay of game against Sumner Academy with 20 seconds to go. And I believe they'll be content just to run this thing out now. Coach Gleischman, 3-6 last season. Obviously hoping to improve on that. And so far they're 2-3, but they're 2-2 importantly in league play. One of their wins, a big one over Turner this season in overtime. 20 seconds left. This is Walden taken down from behind, dragged down by Dennis Kurtz.
That was a good tackle that time by Kurtz coming up and making a big stick.
Another timeout with 14 seconds to play in the first half, and Dennis Dorr will go out to talk to his team, as will Richard Gleischman. And we want to remind you that the high school game of the week is on American Cablevision every week, Channel 30, Friday night at 10:30 p.m., Saturday morning 10:30 a.m., and then Monday night at 9 o'clock. And next week, Duran, we have a huge game at the high school level. It's Jeff City and Rockhurst. We saw Jeff City already this season, and those folks are tough.
They are tough, and Rockhurst is actually playing a team from Minnesota today over at the Rock. Teams come all the way down from Minnesota to play. But they lost one of their great key players, Al Saunders' son, who's a very talented player for Rockhurst. Got injured, hurt his knee, and is going to be out for the season. So
that's too bad. He was their all-everything guy,
yes,
and he was having a nice season.
So they're a young team. They're going to be good in the future, but right now I don't think they have the experience to stick with Jeff City next week.
And here is Rogers to kick it away. Side winds it again, end over end. And Baska lets it bound down inside the 45 and the 43 with 6 seconds to play in the first half.
Boy, what a mistake. I tell you what they could have done, Neil, just gathered around the ball and let the clock just keep running down seconds off the clock until eventually the referee has to blow the whistle or the clock runs out. So, but the clock is going to start.
Yeah, now they're winding it anyway. And that'll do it for the first half in this one. Sumner Academy has used its bruising ground game to hop out in front on this one. Leapart has run for a touchdown for Coach Gleischman. Also, Eugene Thomas went 32 yards. And right now the Sabres lead it at the half, at home, 12-0 over Bishop Ward. It's homecoming for Sumner Academy, and right now they're pleasing the home folks, leading it by a dozen, 12-0 at halftime. And in the first half, it was Eugene Thomas that got things started the right way for the Sabres.
Well, Neil, the offensive line's been dominating, but Eugene Thomas, does a fine job of running here. He splits the defense and then takes it in for 7 early in the game. Good momentum booster for the Sumner team that had to get off to a fast start. And then you can see their defense putting pressure on the quarterback here, Gardner. He's looking for a receiver. He thinks he has him, but he has to throw the ball. It's a little wobbly duck down the field. And Leapart intercepts it, and it turns into another big play right here by Leapart, who fakes. Good fake there, pulls the ball out, and watch this move there. He cuts up inside the defender, gets into the end zone. They went for 2 both times. They missed a 2, but they're up 12-0, and you can see right there, total dominance by the offense. They haven't even thrown a pass. 27 carries for 124 yards. They've dominated the line of scrimmage so far. And you look on the other side of Bishop Ward, Neil, average offensively, 15 yards rushing. That's an embarrassment for a team that likes to run the football. They just haven't done anything well tonight as far as controlling the tempo of the offense.
I believe Theodis Brown is down there somewhere. Let's see if we can locate him. Theodis, come in.
Well, you know, we have, this thing is kind of unusual. You know, it wouldn't be right unless I'm here in the dog pound right here. But we have a very special friend they call Fayu, and our friend Josh here. Josh, tell us a little bit about Fayu and what to do.
All right, well, our freshman year we had a kind of a thing similar to this. And so for our senior year, we wanted to bring it back, and we went looking for something that we could call, you know, our good luck charm or what have you. And we found this. And he comes to all the games with us, and he used to wear a necklace around his neck, but we didn't lose the game when he had the necklace. So we figured he didn't like the necklace, so we took the necklace off of him. We've won 3 in a row. And even though we're struggling right now, we're hoping he can bring us back into this game.
Josh, good luck with that deal, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys said something real loud with this thing right here. When you hold it up, the crowd goes crazy.
His name is Fayu. And when I hold it up like I'm going to hear in a couple seconds, we're all going to just yell Fayu like we always do. So here we go.
Back to you guys.
Oh man, we've brought witchcraft into this deal now.
Well, that's kind of bad. We got witchcraft and idols and stuff like that.
Who's the guy on Major League? Come on.
You know the guy that played baseball.
Serrano.
Yeah, Serrano.
We got Serrano in here, man.
That's
What's up
right.
with that?
I don't know. But it figures Theodis would be right in the heart of it.
Right in the middle of that baby. All right. Damon Gardner starting out on offensive quarterback again for the Bishop Ward Cyclones. And Paul Brown felt the heat from Kevin Satulovich.
I tell you, Satulovich, he's had one heck of a game in the first half, coming up just making sticks. And that time he just started off where he left off, Neil. He comes up and fills the gap with authority.
I was asking the fellas down on the sideline who the strongest guy on the team was. They said Thule. Is that who?
Yeah,
and
you know
that's
why.
to it is, Satulovich right there.
He just roams the middle, and anything that comes through there, he's just going to hit it.
Power I formation. Hand off to Brown again, and Thule up there punishing him some more. Also, Vasquez was in there laying some lumber.
I saw a gentleman playing linebacker last week from Miami, Rohan Marley. They call him the sniper, Neil. He's only 5'8", weighs about 195 pounds soaking wet. But I tell you one thing, he will drill you. And there's Statulovich right there. You'll see him in the middle. He's the same type of guy. Good feet work, good presence. Look at him fight off of this block and still get in on the tackle.
I guess you can see the sniper. Oh, that is Vasquez with Avon calling.
Boy, I tell you, that's what they've been doing all night, dominating that line of scrimmage. Avon's calling.
Well,
look
here
at
he
this
comes.
play here. He just looks back, bam, knocks him down.
Ding dong. I guess the door-to-door salesman beginning to be a dying breed, I guess, Duran, back in the day.
Bishop Ward better find a better way of blocking up front, or else this game is going to be a total blowout because they just have not been able to
Look at this
control.
line shot missile on a punt. Gonzalez scoops at the 35 and then is down at the 40. And of course, he is the homecoming king at halftime, Gonzalez was. Anthony doing the honors. Mike Mangini in on the hit, and it was a hit. Also, Frank Garcia was in there on the tackle. So he's having an explosive night. Bringing back punts, homecoming guy. Where's the after party?
At his house.
1st and 10, John Leapart. Not as productive as he normally is, but he does have a touchdown to his credit tonight. Also got the interception, and this is Eugene Thomas shaking and baking, and close to a first down where Larry Brown drags him down.
You know, Leapart may not have, been rushing and have the numbers tonight, Neil, but he's made some smart decisions. He's been really the key to their offense being on track.
Holding
just a
penalty.
Quick handoff, double dive. There's a holding penalty, but look how Eugene just shoots through that hole when he sees an opening and gets vertical.
On the offense, repeat first down.
Makes it 1st and 20, backs them up all the way to the 30-yard line, their own 30. Time winding, 9 minutes to play in the third quarter.
I was going to tell you, that's how you know you have a good running back, when the guy can take the handoff, and as soon as there's a crack of air open, Neil, he just shoots right through it and gets vertical. And Eugene Thomas is that type of running back for this Sumner team.
Penalties have hurt Sumner tonight. 1st and 20. Out of the I formation, Eugene Thomas shaking and baking again. And again dragged down from behind by Paul Brown.
But Neil, they were able to successfully run the play, and they picked up 10 yards. The 10 yards they lost on the penalty, they were able to gain it back. Misdirection play here, the fake to the right, and then here comes Thomas through the hole to the left, and he almost gets out of this tackle right there. Had not been for Larry Brown, he might have been going the distance.
Ron, let's look at the top 10 again, the American Cablevision and Sports Connection top 10. And there it is, Blue Springs on top, number 1, followed by Olathe East, Blue Springs South. Man, they must have some good football going down.
I tell you, both of those Blue Springs schools are really tough. I mean, they've done a great job. Dan Ross has done an outstanding job at Blue Springs South, and that's a new school, Neil. They've only been there about 3 years, and he's really done a great job.
Of course, Rockhurst, the number 6 team, we'll see them next week as Leapart goes down. And if you want to subscribe to the Sports Connection, call 221 Game. That's an excellent paper Jim Murray and his staff have put together. And if you want to know what's going on in high school sports in this area, that's the place to do it. Sports Connection, 221 Game. And there's Richard Gleichman on the sideline looking over that playbook, 3rd down and 12 as he sends it in.
Tell you, it reminds me of Bill Walsh. You know, he's got that playbook in his hand, and he's probably got the first 25 plays on it that he called for the game.
The only difference would be he's on the ground most of the time and Walsh is in the air. And right now, Dennis Dorr just wants the ball back. Back to pass, Leapart. Cannot shake Mangini as he throws him down to the turf, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Mangini does a perfect job. Now he stays at home, and then he doesn't go for any fakes. He just stands his ground and is able to make the play. As you can see, Leapart trying to find somebody down the field. He breaks loose. Usually in the open field is dangerous, but see how he takes away the outside, keeps his outside leverage, and just throws Leapart down.
Kick it away, Rogers, end over end. They'll let it fall. They didn't get away from it. Very close to touching someone from Bishop Ward. And Sumner has downed it inside the 35 and the 32-yard line. And the officials say that it touched no one. We usually have the best look on the high school game of the week.
Sumner sideline is saying that the ball touched him, but I don't believe it happened.
Sumner sideline. Ahead 12-0. Let's look again.
And let's see if that ball did hit someone. Well, it's hard to see from that
angle. Didn't even look close from that angle. Bishop Ward out of the power I formation, 6-13 and counting, 3rd quarter. They trail it by 12-0 in this one. They're being shut out as Gardner, turns it up inside for about 3 yards. On the tackle there, Garvey and Roy Sanderson. Big Roy at 250 in there, and Garvey, the junior, at 200.
This Sumner team has really controlled this line of scrimmage. If you're just joining us, they've really done an outstanding job, Neil. They've really not given up much on first down and forced them into second and long situations, and that's why they've been successful on the defensive side.
The pitch to Brown, and Satulovic pursues to the ball along the line of scrimmage and picks up another tackle. And he came in here as their #1 tackler with 32 on the season.
And he's got a handful of them tonight too, Neil. He's a great middle linebacker because he just has a nose for the ball. He just follows the quarterback, follows the tailback, and then he's able to shoot up inside the gaps and make big hits.
And remember, he's showing you some quickness, and he's 240, 6'1", 240.
He's got great lateral quickness. And as a linebacker, that's so important.
3rd and 4, Brown trying to pick up that first down. He's got the first down, but there's a flag on the play and keeps his feet all the way into Sumner territory, but let's see what the flag's all about. Anthony Gonzalez finally makes the stop, and it's the hold against Bishop Ward, and that really hurts the Cyclones.
It does hurt the Cyclones, Neil. That's the first successful running play they've had all night. And what happens is the defense over pursues here and overruns the play. You see Statulovic that time overrun the play instead of staying inside out to the ball. And Brown's able to cut back across the grain and pick up a big play, but it's all coming back because of the holding call.
Well, it nullifies a 20-yard run by Brown. Brings up 3rd down 15 on the play now. Underneath 5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Kevin Satulovic and his club looking on. What a beautiful fall night we have now. After the rain has stopped, the trees changing in the background. I'll take that. Back to pass, Gardner, and he is swarmed upon. And in the backfield, Jerome Randolph to make the sack.
It's so hard, Neil, when you're 3rd down and about 15 yards and you've got to throw the ball down the field to pick up the first down. That quarterback's got to hold it. You see the pressure coming up, and then you see the big sack coming in. Fine job that time by.
Decline brings up 4th down.
So give the sack to the nose tackle, Jerome Randolph.
And there you can see him. Yeah,
he's got about 10, 12 inches of play inside his helmet there, doesn't he?
Needs to tighten that down, that's for sure.
Oh, Gonzalez back to receive the punt from Kenny Denny. Returnable, Gonzalez in his own territory. And that is Mike Soptic that came in to hit him. 3:27 to go, 3rd quarter. Sumner on top, 12-0. You know, we haven't had a team win on their own homecoming night this season, Duran. 0-2 the home team is, but Sumner trying to pull that off tonight, and they had the penalty coming up against them on the return. And that's a glass ripper offer. Didn't like that a bit, Coach Gleichman. And he's also going to go for the headset. Headset, playbook, it's all coming loose.
There the glasses go on so I can call his play.
Well, you have to be a good personal manager on that deal there. You got to get the headset going, the glasses. There it is. Look at that.
I tell you, he's probably had
a
that
plastic
since
bag.
1920. Look at that, he's got it all taped up, earpiece falling
great.
off. I tell you, it must work good.
We got to turn this guy into some fiber optics.
I guess when you got a good thing working, you don't get rid of it.
You don't want to change it, man.
Oh, no.
That thing probably fits like a glove to him. All right, Sumner Academy, 1st and 25. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Nothing like starting out in a hole. In this direction, Eugene Thomas doesn't care. And he's out to midfield on that play on 1st down. Larry Brown made the stop.
Well, they were first and about 25, Neil, and they picked up 15 yards on that carry. misdirection. Offensive line does. You see the seal block right there on Mangini, and that opens up a large hole right there. And great piece of running by Eugene Thomas. See this big hole here. Look at the blocking. You see the pulling guard. Good trap block right there. That's a huge hole. Even our director, John Dennison, could run through that hole.
Duran with some retaliation. And here is Thomas again. Somehow I feel we'll be going back to your vehicle before too long. Larry Brown in the stop along with Bob Rome. Eugene Thomas having a nice evening. Looks like he's shaking his hand a little bit, or his arm.
Probably got
Took
that
a
elbow hit. But yeah, he is having a fine evening. I think you got to give credit to those guys up front, Neil. They have just been opening up holes, and you can see he's got 8 carries for 84 yards and 1 TD. What an outstanding evening for this young man. But that offensive line really just dominated this Bishop Ward defense tonight.
Well, when you have a back that's averaging over 10 yards a tote, doing your job up front. Thomas again, dragging people, driving the legs. He got 5 yards out of that.
It kind of reminds you of Dwayne Thomas, the old cowboy back, the way he's running straight up and just dragging people.
Now we're reaching.
Yeah,
we're going back to
reaching.
1971.
But he reminds you, Dwayne Thomas never wore any elbow pads or nothing. He just straight up hard-nosed football player. Look, see the handoff? Look how high he's running. You know, look at those legs churning right there. Reminds you a lot of Dwayne Thomas, a great cowboy back.
On a sunny day, Super Bowl number 5. What was it? O'Brien in to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
I guess Thomas got him in position for that. Boy, that was his only good year. There's the run by Walden up the middle. And he's out closer, almost to the first down marker there. Frank Garcia on the stop, among others. And that offensive line up front, Darrell Lucas helping to lead the way there.
I tell you, Eugene Thomas ought to take those guys up front out to dinner tonight, because I tell you, they've really opened up some tremendous holes.
That's
him and Walden, the same way. He's had plenty of room to run as well.
That's the main difference I've noticed in this team from last year, even the year before, is their line is just larger and stronger up front, and they just have dominated the line of scrimmage here tonight. Here's Thomas again, squirts through there, has an opening, forget about it, touchdown. Flag on the play, though. What kind of a powwow was he doing there as he headed to the end zone?
Well, I guarantee you, if he's running up the middle, he can get through there that clean and open. You can guarantee there's a flag coming down somewhere, and we see 2 of them on the field.
Coming back. Very fine run by Eugene Thomas.
No.
Oh.
Flags flying from every direction.
Well, the penalty's offset.
Setting fouls. We have clipping on the offense. We have a face mask on the defense. Going to offset. We're going to replay second down.
So it goes for naught on the 34-yard run.
Look at the blocking. Look how they fire off the line of scrimmage. Now, there is no one within 3 yards before he hits the hole, and you can see there's a clip right there by, I believe that was 45 Garvey, and look, he's doing his powwow dance, holding on to the ball. Make sure he got 2 hands on the ball. He did.
Second down 3, power eye again. Thomas featured, gets the ball, and gets the first down, I believe. He's very close on the play. Some hard hitting again on the game of the week. Randy Miller and his microphones are everywhere.
Manning and McKinney on the tackle. Timeout. Ball is resting on the cyclone.
I believe we've got a first down, and can we see, maybe we've got a better view, but I can tell you that's a first down by about the length of a football.
All right. It looked like he had it, but when they marked it, it was a lot closer than it looked like he was.
By the length of a football.
Man, get the eyes out. Impressive.
20/20 vision.
Very impressive. Matt Cunningham has run 6 miles on the sideline this season. He's in tremendous shape, the Jayhawker. That is a KU Jayhawk basketball fan down there, Duran.
Wow.
I don't know if he liked what happened to his football squad last night, though. We're going to take a break. We've played 3 quarters here at Roy Edwards Stadium. Back after this. Well, Duran, Duran, I need your attention here, my friend. Here's the retaliation. You said Director John Dennison could have run through that hole a minute ago. Well, now somebody's guarding your car. What?
Oh, my goodness.
He came
What
back.
next? What next?
I don't know.
Do they want my keys? I don't even think I have them.
He doesn't need the keys. You can start it from here with that thing you got.
I don't have that thing.
You don't have it tonight?
No. It's a couple years ago, man.
You don't like that anymore? Bob Rome on the stop that time. 2nd down and 8 with 11:52 to go in this one. We've been rushing the football tonight, and Sumner has been doing the better job of it.
Yes, they have. Look at that, 36 Neil for 173 yards, 18 for 13. I mean, that's just overwhelming.
Here they come again. Walden struggling for more yardage. And he's tackled by a couple of folks there. Anthony was in on the stop, and also Paul Baska.
And I tell you what else is happening too is, Neil, because his offense has been on the field so long, they're just totally wearing down the defensive ward. I mean, you can almost see, you know, their guys are tired out there defensively. They don't have the pop in their step that they had in the first quarter. You can see that.
Anthony Mervunitz. I think I did it. At least according to the guys on the sideline. In there making the nice play. Thomas this time. Not much running room there, but he won't go down. He just will refuse to do it. He never went down. Gives the ball back.
Looks like everyone on the Cyclone football team was in on that tackle.
Looks like he's got an equipment problem. He's coming out of the game. Dennis Dorr doesn't appear to be happy. You can see him giving his signals right there.
For the first down, first round in the game now for.
Well, that whole sideline not looking too good right now. There he goes, trying to get his team back into this thing. Boy, a couple of years ago, he had a great team. I think they only lost 1 game that season. And that's just a couple of seasons ago. Great team. And this is Leapart getting some good yardage on 4th down, and I believe he's picked up the first down. It is Mangini and Brown making the stop of Leapart.
Good job of Leapart getting out on the corner, Neil. Good block, seal block there. Good fake, and that draws Mangini, and that leaves the corner open right there. Good head fake. He must be a basketball player. It's almost like he was trying a no-look pass, and he turns it upfield. But Mangini was able to return off of his block and make the play.
1st and 10 after Leapart picks it up. 3-back set, 2nd man through. Garvey, Mangini was there. And also somebody else stood him up at the line of scrimmage. I believe doing that honor is Tom Horton.
There's Garvey that time. Watch Garvey's feet, Neil, at the point of contact. You see his unbalanced line again. They got too many people over there. But watch his legs. They never stop moving. I mean, good running backs never stop moving their legs. He should have been stopped for no gain, and he winds up picking up about 2 yards.
Actually got 4 on the
yards.
play. Probably 3 of those after the initial hit. 2nd down 6. This is Walden. And he spins and churns for more yardage. And he is close to the first down after that 2nd effort. Tackled there by Kenny Denny. And also Bob Rome. And the rest of the pile.
I hope we can get a view of this Ward defense. You know, Neil, they are just a worn down football team right now. And it's hard. I'd like to see what the time of possession is right now, because they've been out on the field just about the entire football game.
3rd down and 1 at the 6. Walden stopped short and then cleaned up. Mangini had him high, Baska had him low, and it amounts to a loss on the play.
Good job of stacking up the middle and coming through, and then as he bounces off, you got enough people running to the point of attack. They're able to push him back, and they wind up losing about 2 yards on the play.
Well, Mingeni, who finished him off there, is an all-league defensive back from a season ago. And he's one of the guys they really count on. Just a smart guy that's always around the football, Coach Dorr says. Leapart kept it, pitches back, and goes out of bounds, fortunately, for Sumner Academy. Mercy.
You never do that as a quarterback. Once you've turned that play up, it makes no sense to try to pitch the ball back on a 4th down. You already have the 1st down, as you can see, and he great fake that time, and he's upfield. Good black block there. He's got the 1st down. Never pitch the football.
Well, and since that was 4th down, it didn't matter that it went out of bounds because it's being turned over to Bishop Ward. So the Cyclones have it right now. And
well, that's a big play, though, because even if they come back and they score, they're not out of this football game yet. There was a good opportunity to put some points on the board. And,
Gardner runs it out of the pocket for about 6 on the play. Tackled there by Jerome Randolph.
Now you're giving a great opportunity to put some points on the board, but now you're giving the ball back to Ward and giving them an opportunity to march down the field and score quick with a big play, and then they kick an onside kick, Neil. You never know what could happen.
They go to their passing set here.
That's it, the shotgun right there. And you can see the quarterback right there just jumping up inside the pile and just scrambling, Damon Gardner, and trying to pick up as many yards as he could, which amounted to be about 8 yards on that play.
Back to pass again. Gardner scrambles out of the pocket and gets out of bounds wisely to stop the clock. And I know he was very close to the 1st down on the play as the Sabres were on the chase. Stops the clock at 6:57 to go. He did pick up the 1st down. So move the chains. Dennis Dorr's team trying to get back into this thing with a quick score.
Well, what's difficult, why they're going to have a hard time getting back into it, Neil, is the fact that they're getting so much pressure up in the pocket. They're not allowing Gardner enough time to stand back in the pocket. That time he had a 2-receiver pattern going on down at the bottom of the screen, and he had a guy open, but he just didn't have time to get him the ball.
Lets it fly. This is Mingeni. Flag on the play. Couple of flags on the play. I think Basca and Gonzalez were tangled up in front of that pass that as McGinney ran behind him. Let's see what the call is. Defensive holding.
That's the same play they ran the last play, Neil, and they had a guy open. This time you can see as Basca comes down inside, Gonzalez is holding his position, but he's holding him. You got to let him go. You can't drag him to the ground, and that time the referee is right there.
But if you're going to foul a guy,
take him down.
I'd say he got his money's worth.
He got more than his money's worth.
And again, the Sabres lead in the penalty department, 190. What? Oh, that's the total play. The other penalties were coming at me. And that would be the yardage. Aaron Howard on the stop of the ball carrier Roberts that time. This is total plays and yards, not penalties, and as I thought that was a second ago, but
43.
Sumner has really dominated tonight.
Oh, they've totally dominated. 23. I mean, they're averaging less than a yard a carry on offense. I mean, when have we seen that on the high school game of the week?
Shut them down. There's the penalties, and they have hurt Sumner tonight. Get out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 8, 5:52 and ticking in this one. Gardner lets it fly down the sideline and overshoots his receiver out there, Kenny Denny. And I think Leapart was in the coverage over there, and another flag is dropped.
It appears like it might be holding once again now.
Another defensive hold against Sumner, so another penalty hurting the Sabres.
Well, what's happening is they're playing man-to-man defense. You see Leapart right there, but he chugs him, and then look, he grabs a hold of his jersey, and the official is right there. You cannot do that. Even though that's a ticky-tack call.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to let that one go.
Oh, yeah. It's a ticky-tack call, but he's right in front of the official, and the official is going to call that every time.
So the second holding call on this drive against the defense brings up a 1st and 10 of the 42. Gardner again, looking near side this time for Mangini, and overthrows it and intercepted. That is Thomas that picked it off on the run. And you know what he can do with the football. Spinning everywhere and finally taken down at his own 40.
I'll tell you, what a great interception, great hands. And you've got to give him credit for staying after the pass. The ball is overthrown. He doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. And look how he outstretches for that. Mangini there trying to run a pattern. He was open if he underthrows the ball, but that time he overthrew it. And Eugene Thomas is having one whale of a football game tonight. Look, he gets hit by about 10, the whole team.
I think he was hit by the whole school on that play. Guys were running onto the field and hitting him. There's Walton. And he bounces out of there, but loses a couple of yards on the play. The entire Cyclone student body in on this hit. Let's listen in.
That's a perfect example of gang tackling.
Oh, man. The understatement.
But that time, I got to fault Gardner on that throw, Neil. That was a poor throw. He had Mangini open. If he just line drives it to him, he makes the catch. That time he tried to put some air underneath it and threw it a little bit too far, but the speed of Thomas enabled him to go and run underneath that play and get the interception.
Eugene has a pretty good game going tonight. This is Garvey plunging through the line on 2nd down. 4:15 to play.
I tell you, he could be the front runner for our player of the game tonight. Could be.
Just what I was thinking about.
I'm not going to say anything, but you know, he just could be along with that offensive line. We might have a tough decision.
Yeah, the offensive line has been the story for Sumner. 3rd down, 11 for the Sabres. Second man through Thomas. And he is taken down. He never goes down without a fight. Underneath 4 minutes to play in this one. Timeout called. I'm sure that was called by Bishop Ward. Yes, it is, as Coach Gleichman is on the field pleading with some people.
Boy, I tell you, he is emotional.
The hesitation, and now he's into the huddle. And still talking about it.
Yeah, he's a character.
Well, remember, college football on ESPN Saturday. It's Michigan State at Michigan, and then that's followed up by Florida State at Miami. That's a big one in the 6:30 contest on ESPN and American Cablevision, your home for college football. Remember that game that was just played last night as we're taping this on Friday. We'll talk about that just a second. Pro football also on American Cablevision and on TNT. Sunday, it's Washington and Philadelphia, and then Thursday, the Browns and the Oilers. But getting back to that KU State game, I went to the game, Duran, and I looked out there on the field, and I see all these guys that we've done on the high school game of the week. Chris Powell starting fullback for Rockhurst. Steve Harvey starting linebacker for Leavenworth. These guys are starting for Kansas. And here's the punt that bounds down and it turns into a great punt for Sumner inside the 20. You have Keith Rogers, who's a corner, came out of Shawnee Mission Northwest for Kansas. Tony Blevins out of Rockhurst. Marlon Blakeney is the backup free safety. He's from Leavenworth. And then for Kansas State, J.J. Smith, the running back, had 5 touchdowns on the game of the week. And Jason Johnson, you remember the tight end over at Oak Park, he's bulked up to 270 and starts at center for K-State. There you go. You see the rising stars on the high school game of the week. And Jeremy Martin is also on K-State.
I tell you, K-State has an excellent program. They've done an outstanding job.
Brian Gray's a redshirt for KU out of Liberty. You see the stars on the game of the week. You're seeing them tonight. Randolph, one of them on that play. Also, Satulovic was over there.
And that's Jay Rome. Jay Rome Randolph. Watch Jerome Randolph in the middle of the screen. He's manhandling number 70, flushes the quarterback of the pocket. Watch the speed, Neil. Who says the big guy can't run? Look at that. Tracks him down. Hog ties him. Neck ropes him. Whatever you want to say.
Well,
but he gets him down.
He's a hydrant at 5'8" and 225. The fire hydrant, the plug, the cannonball rolling at you.
But also brings up 3rd and 13 for the Cyclones.
3rd and 13 for Bishop Ward. Inside 3 minutes to play in this one that has been dominated by Sumner Academy tonight.
Do we have time of possession?
It's some kind of ugly, I know that. Back to pass. Gardner on the run again, and chasing him down this time is Darrell Lucas.
Lucas is there, and also Jerome. Once again, he's in there on the play. Mr. Randolph, who's a junior.
And these are the same guys that were doing the great blocking on the other side of the football tonight. Lucas, one of those guys in there, providing many of the big holes for the rushing attack this evening with the Sabres.
At about 14.
I don't know what's going on here. Are they discussing what down it is out there? We've got 4th and 14 on the scoreboard. So that's what we're going with. Back to pass, Gardner, and taken down again by Jerome Randolph.
I tell you,
Is he having a night tonight?
And Bill Burns having a tough night. I mean, to have to go against a guy like this who's just so quick. Watch him over the center, Neil. Look how he just throws him. Oh my goodness, that's a big league play right
Big
there.
time right
I mean,
there
it's
by
like you
Jerome.
blink, I'm gone. Get right by you. Good move that time. That shows that this football team up front, these guys are well coached, Neil. That was excellent technique that time. You give him one side, you take it away, and you get by him, and you get straight up the field.
And Randolph just flips over the jersey back onto offense, and here comes that offensive line back at you for Sumner. Inside of 2 to play in this one. Eugene Thomas, touchdown Sabres. It looked like he caught a helmet
Right on that hip, Neil. Good thing he had those pads on, you know, hopefully protecting that little hip pointer there. That's what happens. He got hit on both sides. He'll be sore tomorrow, but it won't feel too bad because they're going to go away with a win.
Well, with that run, he went over 100 yards for the evening. He has 2 touchdowns now. And they'll come on to go for the extra point. Actually, they're going for 2. Going for 2, leading at 18-0 with 1:53 to play. And the give. And he got it. He's in for 2. Hubert Brown. For a second, I thought it was Norm Boulash. Miami Dolphins in 1970.
Speak to me, don't whisper.
This is something we've seen most of the night. Look at the blocking up front once again, and there's Eugene Thomas just coming right through. He gets hammered, but I tell you one thing, he's in the end zone, and I tell you, that's been a courageous young guy tonight, and just a strong performance from him. And you'll see the 2-point conversion right here, just a quick handoff right there. Look how low he runs to the ground, just driving them. I mean, there's like 5, 6, 7 helmets from Bishop Ward there with one blocker from Sumner, and he's carrying them in the end zone.
And that was Walden at 160 pounds providing the block.
Look at 67 driving. There's Hubert Brown right there. But look at 42's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Unbelievable.
And he only weighs 160 at 5'8". And everybody wanted to get their licks in now, making the initial hit Marvin Lewis on Kenny Denny. Well, your total plays tonight has added up to that lead, 20-0 for Sumner. inside a minute and a half to play. Sumner has gone with 48 plays. That scoring drive was only 1 play. They've had 48 snaps tonight. Ward has only had 30. Here goes Gardner sweeping around the right side with plenty of room. And he's got the first down on that run.
Yes, he does. Good job of scrambling that time by Gardner. They still haven't given up. They're trying to make something happen. He's trying to get out and do something positive for his team, even though they're not going to win this football game tonight. They're still not giving up.
Well, you have to. 1st and 10. And there's that story we were just talking about.
That's unbelievable total plays for the evening. They're still under 50 yards.
There's a nice throw from Gardner to Paul Brown. He's got the left sideline. And he doesn't get out of bounds. The clock rolls with 48 seconds. And the ball is marked at the 25-yard line. That's one of the best plays tonight for Bishop Ward.
Yes, it is. The biggest play they've had. Good throw here. This is a perfect throw on the outside. Good catch by Brown that time. And look, good move. Mangini with a block.
Gardner again tries to squirt through there. But a fistful of jersey by Aaron Howard brought him down.
And we've got a whole
flag on the play.
To bring him back.
Yeah, that last play from Gardner to the receiver Paul Brown covered 33 yards. It was their best play of the evening. This one's coming back, however.
On the offense, we'll repeat first down.
As far as the Huron League goes, Bishop Ward came in here 2-2, and also 2-2 the Sabres. So Sumner Academy will move up in league play. They'll both be evened out at 3-3 overall. Gardner lets it fly, hanging forever, and Brown did not make the catch over there. In the coverage for Sumner,
after the game,
Dustin
put your headphones underneath
Primus.
the dish, then go up to the truck.
And the rains are coming down.
Player of the game?
Eugene Thomas.
You going
I made
with
my
Eugene
decision.
Thomas?
Even though,
Man, I wanted to pull the trigger for the line.
Those guys up front did an outstanding job. I think Thomas deserved it. I mean, he played extremely well.
Do you think he'd bring his line into it?
He should.
Honorable mention type of thing? Gardner again over the middle. Pass is caught by Denny, and then he fumbles it. And taken in by the Sabres. That was a beautiful pass that time by Gardner, but as the rain comes down, the ball obviously slick on this play.
Well, it's a beautiful play, but watch this hit right here. Look how he gets his helmet right across his body, and the ball just comes right out. Great job by Leapart.
And Primus makes the recovery.
Primus makes the recovery, but that was a great job. First homecoming win on the high school game of the week.
Sumner has done it. They win it 20-0 here in the Huron League over Bishop Ward on homecoming night at Roy Edwards Stadium on the campus of Wyandotte High School. And your player of the game right there on your screen was Eugene Thomas. And Coach Gleichman and Coach Dorr talking it over on a good battle on a fall evening here in Kansas City, Kansas. The rain beginning to pour just in time for our crew to tear down. And we'll be back with more right after this. The rain has begun to fall again just in time for our crew to tear down, Duran. I'm sure you're not going to help.
Well, my car is getting wet. That's all I know.
Yeah, man. A beautiful car position. You're just going to take off.
Give Sumner Academy credit tonight, Neil. They dominated this football game. Their offensive line was outstanding, and Theotis is down there with our great.
Yeah, well, let's ask them how they did it. Theotis, what's going on down there?
Well, I have a couple of guys here that did very well tonight, and I must say that we do Coach Glatchman here, and Coach, you must be impressed the way your guys came out and fought hard, especially with the rain, the way it came down toward the end of the ball game.
Well, I was real proud of their effort from the beginning of the ball game clear to the end of the ball game. You know, I felt we were in control, and I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage. I thought our backs ran hard. I thought we executed well on both sides of the football. But, you know, we said before the ball game we were talking about mutual push for mutual benefit, and I think that's what we had out there. It looked like everybody was pushing together, and we all benefited from the push that we had.
It seemed like the surface wasn't a problem for your offensive line. They just dominated from the start.
Yeah, that's kind of what we felt. We felt we won in the trenches, and we've been pretty proud of our offensive line all year long. And, you know, once again, we thought they won the battle out there tonight.
And it didn't look like a team that was 2-3.
No, you can't talk about what's behind you. We feel that we're probably better than 2-3. We're 3-3 now, but there's nothing you can do about that. So we just got to look forward and see what we can do. What's ahead of us.
Coach, congratulations and stay dry.
I'm going to try to do that. Thanks so very much.
Okay, we're gonna do Eugene Thomas. And Eugene, young man, you ran extremely hard, and it seemed like the offensive line gave you some holes to run through.
Sure did.
And what happened in the first half that you guys didn't do in the second half?
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. That's how it's been in the past. But I feel we did better than, because like usually we've been letting up and letting other teams come back. But I feel we stepped up today and didn't let that happen.
And you ran extremely hard.
Thanks a lot.
And hey, listen, congratulations. Stay dry. And as a good tip from Deron Cherry, secure that football.
All right, thanks.
Okay, guys, we are happy guys down here, both coach and player. And it was a great football game. And as we told you at the beginning of the game, the telecast, it was so impressive the way the guys secured the football. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Theodis. And let's see, mutual push for mutual benefit. I've got that down.
Hey, that's right. That's a good one.
That is now.
I can use that next time.
That's added to the sales manager, speech every week. I'm going to bring that one to the table. What do you think?
That's a good one.
That'll be good for United Beverage.
That's right.
And for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's right.
Let's get out of here.
Goodbye.
Sumner Academy wins it 20-0 tonight, as Deron Cherry will now give a mutual push for a mutual benefit and help the crew tear down. We'll see you next time on the High School Game of the Week for Theodis Brown, Deron Cherry. This is Neil Harwell. Good night, everybody.